Hi, we're here at the Walt Disney Animation Studios in LA for Windows Media Guide to take a sneak peek behind the scenes of Tangled.
I'm a guy with some simple dreams. Are you guarding this?
Yeah.
Huh? Aha! But on this day, I was just looking for a place to escape. Then it hit me.
Can you explain what the role of a director is and how different it is when you're talking about directing an animated movie of this kind?
How would you summarize, Nathan, the role of an animated director?
Tiring. It's it's
Yes,
actually
sure.
it's a job that Byron and I think always sort of wanted without realizing what it was. Ever since we were kids, we liked kind of creating our own characters and our own worlds, and I think Disney creates amazing characters and amazing worlds. And what's great in animation is you get to be part of every single step of the process. Whether that means you're designing a character like Maximus the horse, or you're designing a castle or a frying pan.
Oh, Mama, I have got to get me one of these.
You're there every step of the way. You're figuring out like what the story is, who the characters are, and what the world is.
It's exhausting.
The role of the art director is to really design the visual style of the movie. So that includes shape and style of environments, color, a lot of the lighting, the overall mood, and just kind of the tone of it.
On Tangled, the visual effects supervisor, you basically team up with the directors and the art directors to make sure that everything that they want to get up on the screen actually appears up on the screen, looking as good as it can, kind of within the constraints of our budget and the manpower that we have to make the film. The biggest challenge, I would say, from a technological standpoint for the movie was creating the hair. And not only do we create the 70 feet of hair that Rapunzel has with her through most of the movie, but she also interacts with it in a way that we've never really had to deal with before in the film, such as she uses it as a bullwhip, she can open doors with it. The other more subtle part of it is she actually leaves a trail of where she's been in all of the previous shots behind her. So it created quite a continuity adventure for us, because the shots come through production in an order that sometimes has nothing to do with the actual shot order of the film. The way we know we're successful with elements such as the hair, for example, is when the audience just believes it, feels believable that a girl could have 70 feet of hair, and it doesn't knock you over the head with it every time that you see it. You just buy it as part of the storytelling without calling too much attention to it.
That was the challenge of the movie, and that was what's fun about it, is taking a relatively new medium and purposely going after a classic kind of Disney fairy tale look.
Rapunzel has been a project that's been in the works for decades, since the late 30s and 40s. So that's part of our collection, as well as all the titles that never made it to screen. We have about 700 titles of animated shorts or features that were shelved. And that itself becomes a repository for potential future stories.
This is the 50th animated feature from Disney Animation Studios, so no pressure there.
We weren't even aware of it until about midway through the production, and at that point it really didn't affect our day-to-day, because we try and put as much as we can into every one of these films. So I think we just continued to try and make it the best film that we could.
Tangled has such a wide range of emotion, humor. The scale is huge, and so one of the things that we wanted to do was create these very relatable human characters, and at the same time, as a way to bring comedy in, we thought, well, we could do that with the humans, but another vehicle to do it was using these animal characters that we have in the movie. Maximus the horse is unlike any other Disney horse or any animated horse that you've ever seen. We're so proud of the fact that you can have like a horse like Maximus, or a really funny little chameleon, Pascal, and also play these really emotional, touching scenes with the humans. It was a constant balancing act in order to pull it off.
What would you say? You look at the movie and go, yeah, to me, that's a Disney moment. This is what makes this film Disney.
There's a moment in this movie where we have our characters Flynn and Rapunzel. They're out on a boat, and there's 50,000 lanterns that are released from the kingdom.
We kind of knew it was going to be a showpiece sequence, and John Lasseter he seized upon that. We knew, knowing that was going to be like a showpiece, and really pushing, and we went through 3 or 4 versions of it. Even when it was in production, we kind of backed up and redid sections of it, and went through all the camera moves and stuff. So we really worked hard on that.
We just kind of tweaked things until it kind of looked like they were floating in space, and that was kind of like their timeless falling in love moment was the whole point that we were getting at. And to get all that stuff right is challenging, but I kind of feel like we gave that kind of attention to every sequence. I just think it really pays off there.
When Flynn and Rapunzel are in the boat and the lanterns are floating, and they look at each other, and there's a certain sense of connection that's truthfulness, it's sincerity. It's they suddenly realize who they are and who this other character is. It's surrounded by all this 3D technology, but when you look at it, it's just 2 sets of eyes looking at each other. And how much more basic can it be than that?
You see the emotion on her face, and Flynn's falling in love with her, and there's something so palpable and powerful about that sequence.
It's such a Disney moment.
Look out! This is kind of an off day for me. This doesn't normally happen.